What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer / seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Give him a little extra bit from me because he's been stressed out today.
Well, you take the other side then, because like you get.
Left side's crazy.
The man I'm rubbing is none other than the Hispanic heartthrob, Andy Cortez.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And then the man who hates to be touched, AKA Forbes 30 under 30, AKA second best baby boobs, AKA the engaged one, at Tim Gettys. How's everybody doing?
I'm fantastic.
Are you fantastic? It seems like you're wired a little tight today. You're not having as much
stress, computer issues, man. Yeah, we talked about it on the pre-show.
Yeah, exactly.
Real bad crash during a fucking render / making of a. It's the worst when you like make enough progress in doing a thumbnail. Well, I was also making a thumbnail at the same time, but still like I've rendered stuff and also done Photoshop stuff at the same time. But
Don't do that no more.
I was like all the way through with getting Nick's face on the girl's face from Wolfenstein for the thumbnail, and then it's like it's all masked out perfectly, and it fucking crashed.
What a fun party mode that is, though. I can't wait for people to see it.
It's really fun.
I was in the room when you guys were recording this.
We know.
And when you
guys
when you discovered the slide mechanic, I had to pretend I didn't think it was funny. It was very funny.
The final moment where you had already left the room by this point, but Nick's like, I don't know, Kevin, that's crazy. What about you, Tim? What do you think? And he was like, just cut to an earlier version of Tim. But I cut to him where like Tim is like on his phone and he just leaves the frame. Like, he just doesn't want to be there. So fucking fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, that one I was in the other room for back here. I took a nap for a quick second because it went on forever. But it sounded like fun. And then yesterday, you guys doing the Ultimate Chicken Horse with Cam and Chloe.
Oh, that was fun.
That sounded like an hour of nonstop fun / torture.
What a
when
game.
I walked in here and Nick and you were doing your wheezy laughs and Cameron Cuff's just staring at it, trying desperately to beat this fucking thing.
So Cameron admitted to us midway through, he's like, I just want you guys to know that I'm the worst kind of person to play games with because I'm hyper competitive and I get very frustrated if I don't do it well. And I was like,
and also I'm not good.
And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great one for you then because this game is gonzo.
Chloe Dykstra walked off set like multiple times and just put her head down on the table. It's like it was so fucking funny, man.
It is a game that the more you try to win, the more infuriating it is. You just gotta let it go and have fun.
That's why Nick
you gotta
wins.
let it go and have fun.
I think like
that's why Nick
when you
wins.
introduce that game to new people and they see the sort of method behind the madness and they're like, oh my god, this is a lot of fun. And then the frustration sets in. It's like you're watching you're watching a giraffe being born and walking for the first time, you know? And they're all like
gooey.
Well, when we got to the farmhouse and there was like 8 levels of the hockey pucks being shotting away. It was ridiculous. My favorite thing to do is try to make it as unpassable as humanly possible.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
It's a blast. It's a blast.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4 best friends gather on this table, each coming to talk about their favorite party mode moments that aren't even live. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames. Yeah, you know,
3 or 4 weeks.
We talk about our lives, things that are happening, everything under the regular sun. If you like that, go to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can get each and every episode early. You can watch us record it live. You can get it ad-free. You can get it with the pre and post show, all exclusive just to Patreon. But if you want to talk snowbucks our way and get everything for free, we understand. Head over to youtube.com/kindoffunny, roosterteeth.com, podcast services around the globe, and you can get it with ads. No pre and post show. None of the fun stuff. Just us here talking about our lives. Under the sun. You know how it is, Tim?
So many ads, so many suns.
Thank you today to our Patreon producers, Mark Starvagi. Did I get it right?
G.
Damn it! Starvagi.
Let me check Duolingo.
Fuck me! DJ Kento, Kieran O'Donnell, Sam Davis. Today we're brought to you by Hims and Zebit, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, gentlemen, are you ready for a tired subject? Like, how much longer? Like, are we ever going to solve gun violence?
No.
We're here. This is the Kind of Funny podcast after the Gilroy Garlic Festival shooting on Sunday here in the Bay Area. Yet another. I mean, it's always crazy, right? To have anybody open their phone and be like, "Oh my God, there's been a shooting," right? But for Jen to open her phone and like, "Oh my God, there's been a shooting at the Gilroy Garlic Festival." I was like, "What?"
Like hours away from here.
Yeah.
Was there not another one today?
I don't know. Was there? A Bay Area staple, the Garlic Festival, right? Something literally since I moved here in 2007, I've seen the billboards for. You hear people talk about. People make the trek out there.
The Garlic Festival.
Yeah, it's
3 weeks ago, there was the shooting in the movie theater I was talking about during Far From Home.
Right.
Different situation. That
Of
was
course.
gang stuff. But
Yeah.
Still.
That was here in the Bay Area as well, right? But again, gang stuff.
It's guns.
Put such put such a pin on it, right, where it doesn't even fall into it. Whereas like when we were watching, I think The Boys, Jen opened her phone and looked at it and was like, oh, there's been a shooting at the Garlic Festival, and I found myself immediately trying to quantitate it, right? Of like, well, is it a shooting or is it a mass shooting? You know what I mean? Like that was, and like before I'd even get astonished because I'm so desensitized to all this shit.
Yeah.
What'd you find out? Was there another shooting?
No, I could have sworn it was like maybe today or yesterday, but never mind.
That's just how it feels.
I must have misread it.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
how it feels.
there definitely
honestly.
was. There
Yeah.
definitely was some shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's become too much of a regular thing, and you always see the sort of tweets that go out of like a guy fucking try to light his shoe on fire, and ever since then, like, you know, we take off
Sure.
our shoes before every time at TSA.
Not anymore, because you know what solved that problem? $100.
Oh, sure,
Solid
yeah.
point.
You pay
Allowed us
$100,
now to not have to do that anymore.
Sure.
Apparently, $100 and 5 minutes with the TSA authority that just interviews you.
Well, even
means
better.
that you're never gonna fucking do
Even
anything
better,
bad
right? Is
on a
just
plane.
booking it with somebody who has TSA pre or global entry, booking it with somebody else.
Yeah.
None of
It
you.
is such a fucking sham.
Yeah.
The airport security is such a sham. That's a whole different subject.
It's not really
together.
though. You know, it is. I feel
It's
like
the illusion
all,
of
But to
security.
Andy's
is what
point, that
airport security is.
so one guy tries to blow up his shoes after 9/11, boom, take your shoes off every time.
Yeah,
Yet
but
another person shoots up a fucking place, and we're all like, fuck, what are we gonna do?
I honestly believe like a lot of the stuff with the TSA though is like monetarily driven, where like you can't bring liquids in anymore.
Well, for
and it's
sure.
Like, of course, you're just gonna make so much more money.
I think
off
for
that.
now, I mean, not for now. Now, for sure, yeah. I mean, like, I think there's a lot of decisions being made of obviously doing that. Once they started like privatizing it with clear and shit too, you're like, well, fuck, like,
Yeah.
And
There's
it's
like
only,
15
it's only
different
a
ways to
matter
get
of
the
time before
security.
they're super clear, something else to get more money from me to go do this.
How much
to
would
get
you
there.
pay? Real question.
Sure. What do I pay now?
To just
120?
I think it's like, but it's only amortized
Every
over
couple
what,
years?
3 years, 4 years. How much would you pay to just be able to walk in and just trampoline over the security and land
Wow.
and just go?
Well, that's making it fun.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah, it's
You know,
an
I'd be all
adventure to this
sweaty. I'd be
process.
holding Porty sometimes.
No,
Huge
Porty
pain
be
in the
fine. You do, and he goes up higher. You land, you catch
I
him.
toss him on a separate trampoline next to me, and we go together. Tandem stuff.
Yeah, I
I
don't
like
know.
that.
It's so funny. Like I think about that all the time. I'm like, this is such a fucking sham. Like, sure, you are in fact keeping people from bringing legit weapons through, and that's great. But like,
Are you?
everything. Well,
Well,
yeah, I mean,
that's the time
they-
everybody's always like,
I have
nah.
no doubt they would catch someone bringing in a handgun, like,
Sure.
or a big knife, something that would actually legitimately like be something you could disrupt an airplane with.
But
That
I feel
have no threat.
like we could, if we wanted to, we could sneak weapons like blades and shit in
Well,
there.
he brings
so
Porty all the
easy.
time.
I've,
Porty's got
uh,
lots of orifice.
I've sneaked my Leatherman in by accident multiple times.
And that's the thing. You hear these stories all the time. If somebody snuck, but like forgot about a gun.
Accidentally brought
I've
it
definitely
through.
seen that headline that
Yeah.
somebody forgot about a gun and got it through. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I
I've
don't know.
purposely done it a couple times where it's just like, oh
Just to
shit,
see?
I have my Leatherman on me.
Stick a
didn't
dynamite.
Put it, I didn't put it in my like checked bag. It's like, well, I'll stick it with the camera bag.
I'm not
but
gonna
then
throw
you
this
never
away
notice.
unless I
Yeah.
have to.
Which
Camera
I've
bag.
had to do before.
Sure.
I've had to throw away a Leatherman.
Yeah.
It's
It's the one thing that I do love about the TSA pre is that I still just don't, and I know this is just me being super paranoid, but I just don't understand why people allow that dick scanner thing to be a thing. Like, what is it?
because it doesn't dig.
The backscatter machine?
When we stand
the
in
back
it
scanner
and it looks,
machine.
but what is it eradicating us
It's
with?
definitely finding my hands
Or
and
irradiating
ankles
us
every
with.
single
Hands.
time.
Yeah.
But like, what is it doing?
It's looking for
we know?
anomalies on your little
Makes it
lumpy
Nobody
body.
even
Yellow.
asks. Everyone just goes, I'm gonna go through the thing.
No, I think it's a density thing.
Well, do you
Where
want to
it's-
fucking fly or do you not want to
It's a
fucking fly?
density thing?
Yeah, it's checking to see if there's
How is
any
it-
abnormalities.
That's why
in
Nick.
the
That's why Nick
density.
calls it the dick scan. He got
What
that density.
particle? What particle
always
is it
lit up.
bombarding your body with that it can check for density?
I mean, I'm sure it's something harmless.
Wi-Fi.
Is it harmless?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something where it's like, oh, there's something in that pocket that doesn't feel like the rest of the body.
I don't know.
So what about my hands?
Look at your fucking hands.
Oh, you get hands all the time. You just look like the kind of guy that's sneaking through some sort of explosive device.
In my hands?
Yeah, your hands, bro. They gotta check your hands.
Anyway, gun violence bad.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Gun violence bad. Let's stop shooting people. But yeah, the hands thing.
Sorry to say, I sort of hijacked this.
Gun violence went to TSA issues, but yeah, they always get me with the facial wipes. When I use my facial wipes before a plane, it always like whenever I use it, they always go through and like, oh, we gotta like do the wipe down thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's
Man,
like,
there must be a chemical in it
Yeah.
that registers on your
That's
gear.
what- yeah,
that's
that's what I
crazy.
C4.
Yes, it's like it's weird that you wipe
They're
your
nuking your
you're wiping your
pores.
face. You're wiping your face with dynamite.
I mean, I feel like the gun violence stuff and the TSA stuff is like more intrinsically related than different.
Well, it's all security stuff,
It's all
right?
security stuff, and it's all just like people finding ways to make money and like control people's feelings
Sure.
of fear. It's controlling fear to make money off.
That's why I always like
Others.
I'll say this, and we talk a lot of shit about airlines and TSA people, but I do want to give shout outs where shout outs are due. Like when I fly through Ontario, I have never met a nicer group of security guards. People who actually want to help you. There was a guy that's like helped me. He grabbed me a bin. He was like, "Oh, you could do this, do that. Oh, your TSA. Here's a card. Come on through." I was like, "Why can't it always be like that? Why is everyone like we're making this like this police state where every single person who's in a position where they have to like check anything has to be this hardened fucking badass?" And it's like, I don't want to live like that, man. I don't want to go through the TSA where they're looking at me like,
I get a lot of
everyone, though.
TSA nice guys now and gals.
"Do you?"
Yeah, I for as much as I travel, I would say it's more rare that the majority of people you're going to get, I feel, are the just dead to the world. I've been here since 5:30 in the morning. I'm looking at your stuff doing it.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely get people who are giving little songs and dances while they do stuff and move things around.
No, that I can do
I
that.
don't
No,
want
you
to
want
song
that.
dance.
I want.
I'd
Hey,
say
you
like
got
one out
your
of
bag,
every
your
8
bag.
people are like the sort of police state, the fucking like, no. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Put that like where they like
Yeah,
scold
yeah.
you. It's like, what the fuck, bro? I'm just chilling, man.
I don't like that.
Some of my worst
But shout out to
examples of
Ontario.
that were London and when we went to Vancouver. It's like, these motherfuckers, y'all need to calm the hell down. You're being a little too much right now.
Well, Canada just doesn't like us. Like you're American.
We took one of
Don't
them.
come in here.
Yeah.
We took one of their best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Never giving it back.
No, never.
Clear is the thing that to me totally worth it. They're the nicest
100%.
people in the world.
Oh, sure.
Like I've never had a single issue with Clear.
Yeah,
people.
but then you got to do the thing that I would be so embarrassed where they walk you in
love
front of
it.
other people. I'm like, oh no.
you'd be embarrassed by that.
You
I'm
know
like,
how
get
I
out of my
can't-
way,
you know, I would
Executive
feel like
Platinum
I'm
United
cutting-
guy in a suit. I'm going right through my T-shirt.
I would feel like I'm cutting the line, and you know I can't do that. You know
It's
that
a
I can't cut
nonsense
lines.
and it's all make
It's all
believe.
bullshit. I know. I
Yeah.
know.
You paid for it though, man.
Clear?
Yeah.
No, I don't have
No, he-
clear. I have TSA.
Oh,
But man, when I use that TSA, God, I feel special. I feel so superior.
Jen
to
gets very
everyone.
mad at me at the airports now because we're like, if the clear line's there, I'm going into the clear line. And multiple times now at SFO, it's happened where there is no one in TSA pre-check.
Doesn't matter.
And I'm like, I'm going
Principle.
to clear. And Jen's like, I'm going to TSA pre without you. I'm like, fine, do it.
Yeah,
Like, or they
I
got my
dare
stamp. I'm
you.
like, I gave
fucking
these
dare you.
strangers my fingerprints, and I want to get walked
I
through.
want every single
I
time.
gave these strangers my
them to
fingerprints.
look at my
I'm here.
fingerprints.
I'm giving up all
This
my
random
liberty.
person was like, "Would you like to save 5 minutes? Here's all my information. Here is everything."
Clear's
you
the
need."
best, but it literally is 90% of the time. It doesn't help or really do anything. And then there's the 10% where the line's out the fucking door and you're like, this is such, thank God.
Thank
Thank God I got this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do my thumbprint yesterday for something, and it just, God, thumbprints are one of those things that just blow my mind.
Well, I
Like, how
fucked
are
up.
they all different?
I have a
You know
fuck-
what I mean?
Honestly, it's a great question.
Surely there's an anomaly.
Yeah,
like
somebody's gotta be
somewhere.
matched up.
Aside from like, oh no, even twins. Never mind.
No,
Twins
different.
also got the different ones, right?
But
what
it's
is
like
it?
that thing of like, who's keeping track?
That's the
At
thing.
some point,
It's like all
Jesus
this
has
shit
got to
blows
be
my
like,
mind.
fuck, have I done this before? Have I done a Lefty Louie here before? on this one?
I
I
had a soup to loop here.
put
I
a
hate
little
it
cat paw.
because no matter what happens, my thumb, it takes forever to scan, and they're like, flatten it out. And I'm pushing so hard, they're like, flatten it out. I'm like, I can't flatten it out anymore. And then I'm stressing out because it's customs, and I'm like, don't lose your cool, because this is real. This is a real situation.
Oh, man,
this is not like you're at a Starbucks. You just go to another Starbucks.
Was it a Minority
This is
Report?
Canada.
Minority Report where he burns his fingerprints off?
No, that's
That was
and
Men in Black.
I think Minority Report.
Minority Report, I think he did it too. Yeah,
Okay, was it Will Smith or Tom Cruise?
it was Tom Cruise.
Fuck.
Men in
yeah.
Black.
No, it was the same way when we flew into Canada this last time to Montreal. We brought Porty, so it's automatic side room. You know what I mean? And the first time I ever did the side room, my best friend was the agent. It was awesome. And he was like, go through. I'm like, yeah. So this time I walked over. And the guy's going through, and he doesn't know who I am. He's not the kind of funny best friend. Couldn't be that lucky again,
Yeah.
years apart or whatever. But he's totally chilling, like, all right, cool. And like, blah, and then like we have
dog's got a
we have
gun.
the dog or whatever. And then like a dude who's like floating, right, turns around. And he's like, oh, you got a dog? Did you bring any dog food? I'm like, yeah, I brought dog food. And did you declare the dog food? I'm like, No, I mean the dog. No, like it's sealed. It's a can of
you
dog
port it?
food. Yeah,
Did you declare?
I don't know. Let me check him. You know what I mean?
Amazing. You'd be like, Porty?
On the ground, sir. On the ground, Porty.
Where'd you get a gun from?
Porty's got two, and he stands up on his back.
He's dual wielding.
With code 33 and code 33.
This is like happened once before.
It was a bulldog that time.
He was so slow. Christ.
No one would expect the wiener dog.
God.
Nobody would. Nobody would.
That'd be the perfect crime. Perfect crime.
But that's the thing. At least, I feel like for the most part. Well, I don't even know. Do you think so? Did the TSA and the metal detectors and the fear stuff, is that what knocked down maybe some of the terrorism on planes? Or is it just that the terrorists figured out we got them once with the planes, we're going to move to something else now?
No, I think the NSA reading everyone's emails and listening to every single conversation
Sure.
has probably had something to do with that.
Sure.
And they're still doing that. So
Okay.
that's probably like a more efficient means
It's just,
of
I was thinking about it the other day. Jen and I-
catching people.
Jen and
Just
I were
listening to
talking
everything.
about this, and actually, what it was, I was talking about it got to security or whatever, and box cutters and that, 9/11 and all that stuff. And I was like, well, it's just a thing too of like,
Oil.
9/11, of course, changed everything. We've talked about this,
Yeah.
but it also changed the game. Where I feel like every other terrorist must have been like, fuck, they fucked this up. Now we can't use planes anymore. Because in the old days, it was.
They
Hey,
would take over
we've
planes.
taken the plane and we're going somewhere. We're gonna land, and then they're gonna give us and free this guy, and you're all gonna go home. And everybody's like, all right, cool. Keep reading their in-flight
But
magazine.
how many times has that happened?
A bunch.
You were old, right? That happened a bunch.
It's happened
yeah.
a lot.
But like when
I don't
when
think
we
it
say a
happened in
bunch,
America a bunch.
Like, yeah.
I mean,
Didn't
dozens.
it land in Cuba all the time?
Yeah, that was the thing,
I think it
right?
happens in the movies a lot too.
I remember
You
it
ever see the
happening. I
beginning of
remember
SWAT? Remember how they have to go take the plane? It's because that's what happens.
Black
They're trained
Hawk
for that
Down.
shit. But yeah,
Black Hawk Down, yeah.
It's a good one.
But that was that thing of like, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like these other terrorists, they must have been like, oh man, now we can't do this anymore because we all know everybody's just gonna fight.
planes.
They're just gonna
looking
fight
at
us
it,
no matter
like,
what.
They're like, what do we got left? Trains, buses. I don't like these
Fuck,
options.
yeah, bad.
I don't like these options.
Yeah,
Planes,
yeah.
trains, automobiles.
There you go. That's what you gotta do. You know what I mean?
That's
But they don't
wild.
allow people to do that.
Planes, trains, and automobiles?
Well,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the trains and buses.
Oh, yeah. They'll take it all.
The honking is on our end.
Are they doing a lot of trains these days? A lot of train terrorism?
There's like, but there.
Didn't that happen?
Like,
Wasn't it in
didn't they just
London?
bomb a
Yeah,
subway station in London?
Well, yes. Oh, that wasn't super recent though. I'm saying a lot of that. That's like a,
Yeah, like
that's a main thing?
one every like couple years is a lot.
If we're
That's
gonna
a lot.
say that there's a lot of plane terrorism, I think there's a lot of train terrorism as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the bombing stuff is that's really scary. That's just scary. But
Yeah.
as is the shooting.
Dude, I always just because of how paranoid I am, I always get scared of just we're in such a liberal city that I get worried that something's gonna happen here all the time. Like when I'm walking down the streets,
We're targets.
my mind is always just just fucking keep your senses 360. You know what I mean? Because at any moment something. But I'm just always ultra paranoid anyway. But,
Yeah, I mean that's city living in general. Like it behooves you to kind of have situational awareness.
But I also
degree.
just think just because of how liberal this city is,
You think it makes you a target for people who are
bigots
mentally
or whatever.
unstable and want to just come shoot some stuff up.
Yeah.
That's possible. I think about that too. I think about that when I go to large sporting events and things like that. I'm like,
Oh my God,
this
same
is
here.
really scary. And the people that did the security don't seem to me to be the
Top of their
best
game?
at their job. Yeah, I don't know, but nothing's ever happened. That's the sad thing. When stuff like this happens, it makes everyone paranoid.
And again, it totally makes you understand why kids who have gone through school shootings are terrified of another one because it's it can happen and it's just you feel for them. You feel for the fear that they they go through.
It's not even that, I think, as much as the kids who, in general, right? I don't know. It feels, and it's just obviously because of getting married to Jen, bringing. We talked about this, right? Would you ever leave the United States? Game over, Greggy show. Marrying a foreigner, bringing her here. The first mass shooting happens, and she's really taking it hard. I'm like, why? And it's that isn't a thing where she's from, and they didn't run Schedule E school shooting drills and having that conversation. Because when was the last time I had to explain to anybody doing an emergency school shooter drill, right? Because my generation, I assume Tim's generation as well, grew up with it happening. Were you in school when Columbine happened? No.
I mean, I was, but we didn't do that. We did earthquake stuff.
We just
Okay.
had fire drills.
Oh, so did you ever do Schedule E stuff or anything like that? No.
didn't either.
We call it Schedule E.
I just
Everybody else
think
calls
I
it
just feel
different.
like the areas you're in, you teach the people the things that they need to be scared about.
Sure, but I mean, now I feel like it's way more spread that more people are getting taught it, right? It feels like. I mean, we're not paying attention to kids.
I've been in high school.
I think-
But I'm talking about
In a while.
fucking kindergartners. That was the thing of somebody in our sphere tweeting about how heartbreaking it was to have his kindergartner come home and hit them talk about the drill they went through today in case this happens. And like that's a real fear for them now, right? And like it's that same thing of the parents can't say that it's not going to happen because you don't know if it's going to happen, and they have to be trained and understand how to do it. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. That that was that's crazy.
I mean,
to think about that.
After Columbine, like that was a normal thing. I remember our school.
So you did get it because
Yeah.
or Tim saying he didn't.
No,
Okay.
yeah, we definitely got
okay.
it, where they would.
So just like they were like at Tim's Smart Guy school, they were like, no, nobody's going to come.
No,
in.
they did.
They would walk around and lock all the doors, and like it was like a 15-minute ordeal, and it was,
Simulations.
You know,
Or?
Yeah.
of like, all right, we're gonna pretend someone walked on the premises, and this is how we handle it. So I just, you know, that was normal after that.
Right, and that's the thing of how it normalized. And I know we've talked about it before again with the would you leave the country.
I think it's a
thing.
lot of PTA stuff. You know, I think it's a lot of people getting together and just being like, oh man, we need to protect our kids, and then there's the whole hullabaloo, and then they start teaching that stuff. It's like in Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
About those otters.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I remember the season of Big Little Lies. Well.
I've seen approximately 5 minutes of Big Little Lies, and it was the last 5 minutes of the last episode of season 2.
Interesting
like,
place
huh.
to jump in.
Choice.
Interesting place
That's
to jump
definitely-
in. Okay.
See how this wrapped up? Great.
You should still watch it.
The worst place to
Really
jump
good
in.
performance.
Nah, I don't care.
All right, fine. Fuck you.
Somebody died.
Now, Kevin, you almost went to this garlic festival.
I mean,
Yeah. So originally Paula was gonna work on Sunday, and midday Friday she hit me up and was like, "Oh hey, like I'm not going to work like tomorrow, and I'm leaving early today." So we hung out with Alexis, and after that I wanted to do something special on Sunday. So it was like, oh, like I was starting to like formulate a plan where we go to San Jose, do some shopping, then hit the garlic festival, because I don't know that I've ever been to it.
Yeah.
And I just thought it'd be fun, but we ended up last minute deciding we weren't going to go to the breakfast spot that we were thinking. Instead, we just went to Lucho's, our normal breakfast spot over
Hell yeah.
here. And then it was like, oh, it's too late to make this whole plan. So instead, we went to like Stanford Shopping Center.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
like
it was
that
really,
shopping
it was
center.
really weird to see that on the news and be like, oh, we were almost like gonna go there.
I didn't read the story. So what was the actual? What were the details of the story?
I got it for you.
Oh.
Come on, I come prepared if I'm going to bring a topic to the table. I'm reading from the LA Times, right? Amid the screams, flying bullets, and bloodshed that erupted on a warm summer evening at the Gilroy Garlic Festival on Sunday, someone shouted a pivotal question at the gunman. Why are you doing this? Quote, because I'm really angry, the gunman replied, according to Jack Van Breen, who spoke with reporters after performing at the festival with his band Tin Man. The famed festival was winding down when authorities alleged that Legan, I'm sorry, and let's go to the top here, Santino William Legan, 19 of Gilroy, he's the shooter here, killed 3 people, leaving 15 hurt. It's still one of those things that people are still trying to, he was killed. Shout out to the cops there or whatever, I guess he was taken out within like the first minute of doing this, according to this. The LA Times reports including possible links to white supremacist movement in terms of motivation, but they're still trying to get to that. Back to this, sorry. The famed festival is winding down when authorities allege that Legan crept past a creek and cut through a fence, bypassing entrance security while armed with an AK-47 style rifle. Then the article goes on, talks about how it looks like he got it off this weapon banned in California, but he was able to get it from Nevada. The Nevada gun shop, Big Mike's Gun and Ammo, said in a Facebook post Monday that the buyer ordered the gun online. Quote, when I did see him, he was acting happy and showed no reasons for concern, the seller wrote, adding that he was heartbroken over the attack. Quote, I would never ever sell any firearm to anyone who acted wrong or looks associated with any bad group like white power. Everyone is my brother and sister, and I am mourning for the families, end quote. I would never sell a firearm to anyone who acted wrong or looks associated with a bad group like white power.
Great.
It's
good to know that we have this,
if you
judge,
got-
jury,
Thanks,
executioner.
Big Mike. Thanks, Big Mike in Nevada, looking out for everybody.
Everyone out there, if you got a swastika tattoo, just wear a long sleeve sweater.
Exactly,
How about
right? And a
that?
hat. Just
Jesus
wear a nice hat
Christ.
and come in with a sunny disposition. You'll be all right.
Like the truth about this is that anyone can go and buy a gun. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know,
100%.
the fact is, like, the people don't care what you look like,
Nope.
and they will sell you a gun if you have the money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you can take that gun over state borders, and
Right.
then you have that gun wherever you want it to be.
Like, what else is Big Mike going to say? Like, I thought this guy looked shifty. No,
Money, the check cleared.
it's on you now, Big
Yeah,
Mike.
the check cleared. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, Christchurch happened, and New Zealand acted on it, and they, you know, I guess the ban was all automatic weapons or whatever, assault rifles.
Assault weapons.
And it's just, you know, again, fucking Sandy Hook happened, dude. Like, That was what, 8 years ago, 7 years ago? How long was Sandy Hook?
Not that long ago, was it?
I want to say,
I'm looking at it.
4 years
I'm
ago?
going to say 2012.
2012.
Oh, Jesus.
I just feel like it was, you know,
Time
if
flies.
Sandy Hook happened,
Yeah, if we're that was somebody put on Twitter as well from
That was 2012.
2012,
Nailed
yeah.
it was the conversation, right, that I thought eventually something would motivate America to act on this, but if their kids are being killed,
Yeah.
right, then no, nothing's going to change.
And it's just, it's money, man. It's fucking
money.
money. It's the
It's
government.
the power of the
it's-
NRA. They have a huge lobby.
It's the fear mongering. It's the same shit, man.
It's that. I
It's
mean,
making
it is-
people believe
it's-
they need these things. You don't need these things.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean,
And like, you know, I have relatives who, you know, shoot, you know, for recreation.
Of course.
You know, they go out and they
I
go
know
to
plenty of
shooting range.
law-abiding people with
Yeah,
guns.
totally. But it's just like the assault rifle is just such an unnecessary thing, dude. You're not. Why do you want to fucking play soldier? Like, just go to an actual shooting range where the stuff is provided for you if you want. Get a fucking handgun if you want to go shoot targets out by the creek if you want to shoot bottles or whatever the fuck. But like, come on, man, this shit is not necessary, dude. Like, it's
military-grade
just
weapon
it's
to come
so
in.
unnecessary, dude.
Yeah, I've said it before on the show, and like I know people disagree, and I truthfully don't care. It's like ban them. These things shouldn't exist. If you have them, they should be taken away. That might upset people. Cool, great. That would solve a lot of this issue. Is it going to solve all of it? No. People are going to have things that they're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
But this shit's causing issues, and the whole recreation and all that stuff. Find a new hobby, man. Like you having this hobby is not worth.
So you say
the
ban
potential-
all guns all
That's my personal belief.
Sure.
People can disagree all that they want, but I believe that that'll make a lot of this stuff happen a lot less.
Yeah.
And I think that is worth giving up the liberties that you were saying are worth all of that, because I disagree with you.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Vegas shooting, another, you know, big
Now we forced to
example
act.
of
Yeah.
another big example of like the biggest shooting since when ever was it ever?
It was like, what, Kevin, 57, something like
Yeah,
that?
57 were killed,
57.
200 something were injured or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's
in Chris Rock's stand-up special, like he made a whole joke. He's like, yeah, if he had a knife, the guy wouldn't have got far.
yeah,
You know,
I don't
it's
know.
like it's having access to these things that allow you to.
that is one
to
of the
do
best
this on
jokes
this,
he's ever
on this
written.
level. It's like even then, yeah, taking it back to a handgun. If you want to meet in the middle, which whatever, it's like cool. Even that's going to be less than 57 people. You know,
Sure.
but it's
Would
like,
you ban cars then? Like, I fucking hate all that.
it's not a real argument, man. You know, it's not. Like that's
Yeah,
totally not.
like you know, those
there's
things are
one
used
purpose
for,
for
reasons.
guns.
Yeah.
There's many purposes for cars, and a purpose for a car should not be killing anybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's actually one purpose for a car. It's not killing people.
Yeah.
It's for getting people
Or
safely
making out in
from
the
one
back
place
seat.
to another.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
wow. Hand job in the front seat. Well, you're
Damn,
Wow,
front
fuck.
seat.
Why are we making
At
it
the same time?
Ski pole.
Orgies, apparently.
Big car.
Yeah,
loungy seats, you know? Yeah.
yeah. I'm definitely not up enough on gun laws and how hard it is to get a gun, but it seems like it's fairly easy.
Yeah.
and that's my only thing is like a lot of the access to these things. It just seems ridiculously easy to get a gun. And I'm not
Let's go to
opposed to people
Walmart.
owning guns. I'm not opposed to people going through courses and having to do safety courses and it being an ordeal to get a gun like it is. You know, at least you have to go through driving school to get a car, to get a license. It doesn't preclude you from driving without a license, of course. But if you want to do it the legal way, you have to do a few courses and pass a test, and a lot of that stuff has to happen. And I think it should be harder to get a gun than it does to drive a car. I think it should. I mean, I think most people who want guns would be willing to do that. I don't see why they wouldn't. Right? If you want to get an assault rifle, and I were to tell you, hey man, you got to go through a 4-week course to be able to do this, and part of that course is an evaluation of like your mental stability. And if I wouldn't mind that, I'd be like, cool, I want an assault rifle. I'll go through that. That makes sense. That's my way of proving to everyone around me that I'm responsible enough to own this thing.
I did the test to be able to drive my car, and I drive my car well enough that I think I'm safe for the people in my car. And
You
the
drive your
people
car
around
very
me.
slowly, and it's great.
It's safe. It's
I
very
respect
legal,
that.
not too slow.
There's other people in this room that want to launch us into space when they
so
drive.
the thing is, if it were a gun, I could do the tests. I can do all that stuff. Even if I passed all those tests, which I think I'd be able to do, I still wouldn't trust myself with a gun. That doesn't mean that I know how to use that thing. And in the case of like, oh, I'm trying to protect my house, you know how trigger happy I would be? Like, you guys have seen me play horror games. If something fucking pops up, that motherfucker's getting popped, or I'll miss. Either
Yeah, I
way,
mean,
I'm gonna shoot that thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like I just don't feel like the majority of people that make the argument of like it's to protect my family. You're not going to be able to protect your family if the person that's trying to harm you has a plan to harm you. Like you having a gun, I doubt you're going to be able to use it. Sure, there's exceptions to that, but there's also exceptions the other way. And I
That's
feel like
fair.
all that shit's dangerous. And we
Yeah.
can see the stats on that. You see how many people make mistakes because there's a gun in the house.
There is.
Based on break-ins or whatever, what they thought was a break-in. It's not a break-in.
Or even
People
then,
getting
just
shot.
kids accidentally get into their dad's cabinet and suddenly child is dead. You know, like that
that
happens
stuff
way more frequently
happens.
than it should. Yeah.
Yeah, my thing is I'm not anti-gun. I've been shooting. I think I like the sport of shooting a gun is enjoyable to me. So I'm not going to sit here and say that you have to ban everything because I personally don't feel that harshly about it. But something has to be done because the fact that people can just walk in can cross the state line with an AK-47 and start shooting into a crowd is pretty deplorable. So there's got to be a solution to that, you know?
Yeah.
But every time it gets brought up, the topic dies down until the next shooting, and then it dies down.
We've talked about
and
that
the
in the
next
show,
shooting,
right?
and it's just
That's
rinse.
You've heard us
One
do
of
this
the
topic
issues.
a million times
Yeah.
on the show as a fan because every 6 months something comes up.
Yeah.
And I just think that meeting in the middle, that's not the answer.
Yeah, I'm
and that's
kinda
the-
with you.
The hardest thing is that I just don't know what the answer is. You know what I mean? And like, because I think in previous topics of this, I've talked about, well, sure, I think assault rifles should be banned, obviously. I don't, why the fuck do you need that? No one's worried about an elephant coming in their house. And then it's the idea that like, okay, like people won't give up that ground on that front, right? So then it comes down to, oh, okay, and then I know plenty of people who have conceal and carry things, have it for production, have it whatever. None of them have had to use it, knock on wood, in that situation. And then so then is the answer like, I don't know. And we exist in a I think one of the shittiest times in America of extremes where there isn't a middle area anymore, right? There is red or blue, there is right or left, there is conservative, there is liberal. And so I don't know. Nothing works. But it's not even that nothing works, right? It's not even that we can sit here and say nothing works to stop gun violence because we can't do anything. No, the only thing that anybody's making work right now is nothing happening. Where there isn't even incremental steps to making happen. Where it is people thoughts and praying, right? And then moving on to the next thing and getting distracted by the president's next shit show he's going to get involved in. And so it's just that thing of like, it sucks to be here and lose more faith every day in the country and who's running it and how it's going, right? And feel like nothing's getting better and there is no way to fix it. And that's the thing of like, you talk about being worn down, right? And like, just being in a fucking weird spot with this. Cause like, it's, you know, for this personally, again, like, I don't mean to keep harping back or like point to it, but in terms of thinking about it, like, you know, Jen being here and seeing her reactions to all this and having conversations and having to talk about it, like, it's so demoralizing to me as somebody who was proud to be American, right? That, oh man, I guess, yeah, you're right. What we accept as normal isn't normal. And it's the other thing. And it's like, again, to the topic of would you leave the country, right? Like, I think I will one day probably, right? Oh, you know, Kind of Funny's done and we want to retire or whatever and go being closer to Jen's family or something like that. But it's also the fact of like, when we start thinking about having kids, right? I had a nightmare the other day that it was, we hadn't had kids, but Jen was in a mall when there was an active shooter and it became a hostage situation. I wasn't in the mall and I was outside. And it was that fucking thing of like, I brought her into this. You know what I mean? Like, I brought her here. This is why she's in this situation. And that's not to say bad things don't happen in Canada. That's not to say that.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I just feel like it's different things in different places and there's always going to be issues. And there's the bombings that we're just talking about. It's like, it's not like it's a unique thing. It's just when we
our
look
gun
at
violence,
Australia,
we hear about it the most.
Our
we
gun
look at
violence
Australia and
statistics
they
are way
solved the
worse here.
problem
Yeah.
by getting rid of the guns.
New Zealand.
Right? New Zealand. And it's just like, but even Australia, right? Like they changed their stuff too.
I'm not up enough. Kevin, can you give a
was
Google?
telling me that. Katie Ward a long time ago.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like the gun violence stuff doesn't happen in Australia because it's not allowed.
Guns have been banned in Australia for a long time, but it was the Christchurch shooting that made New Zealand.
Gotcha. Yeah.
banned.
What I'm saying
Yeah,
is they're banned. So cool.
Yeah.
Then we don't have the problem.
And
we have the problem because they're not banned.
shockingly, there's way fewer, issues that happen. Like it's just, it makes sense. It works. And I just think we're too lazy to try to solve it, and people's pockets are being filled, and that's like the bottom line. It sucks, but that's it. Until we vote these fucks out. That's what we got to do, Kev. Got to vote them out, Kev.
So you gotta vote, man.
Got to fucking vote, bro.
Yeah, I mean, to me, but it does really boil down to apathy, right? Like the people talk about it for approximately a day and a half, and then it goes away. Because you have other shit you gotta
Well,
worry
I was
about.
thinking, I was shocked about the fact that I hadn't heard more about this.
Yeah,
Today I had to
people are-
Google around to figure out, wait, why did this guy do this? Because yesterday we were already on to something else.
Was it just one dude? Because I remember when it happened, and even on Monday they were talking that it might have been two people, and they were looking for a second suspect.
Most recent thing I saw from LA Times was saying one person.
And they had that Instagram post about being white supremacist or whatever.
Yeah, some weird book that was written under a pen name. They went into it. I trimmed down the article for what we were talking about here. You know what I mean?
But it's like there's a pattern. There's clear problems happening, and those problems need to be addressed, and there's a way to address them. And it seems like half America wants to and half doesn't. And I think that it's pretty clear how that falls.
You look at how the states break down in this one. Clearly, California's on one side and Arizona's on the other.
I mean,
that's just the way it goes.
Honestly, like that's the way
and
this
that's
is
where
going.
it gets interesting when you start thinking about the future of the country, right? And the fact that we are so big and we are so spread out, and it feels more than ever pulling in two different directions on state by state, issue by issue, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Of like, so when does it become like, not that California secedes from the union, right? But like you putting up like fucking borders, like for real, like border checkpoints on the states, right? Of like, all right, cool, I want to live in California because of X, Y, and Z, but clearly, even though that gun's banned here, right? He went and bought it in another thing, put it in his trunk, and drove over here. Nobody's checking you trunk by trunk, right? Like, is that the future of the states and like making it into a way that actually makes sense?
I don't think so because of the economy of how the states work together and all of that. It's just I feel like there needs to be people need to really think about what choices they're making and why they think the things that they do, and need to be more aware of the media and the messages they're getting from the media and where that's coming from and how it's being delivered and why it's being delivered. It's controlling fear of people. All of this comes down to fear and money. And if you can control people and convince them to be scared of something and scared of a group, they're going to pay out the ass to protect themselves.
Yeah.
All these, yeah. It absolutely, that's absolutely true. All the gangsters and drug dealers coming from Mexico, and they're just stuck in cages now. Like the whole caravan that was coming, that just kind of got stopped talking about because nothing fucking happened, and now it's just a bunch of animals in cages now. Apparently,
no. Didn't also Mexico close their borders down in the south? So like that stopped those caravans coming through them.
No, but the caravans are being talked about by Trump as if it was an ongoing issue. And then he stopped talking about that.
I think it was an ongoing issue for a little while. Like there were mass groups of many, many people coming through at the same time. And then one of the things that Mexico did was they've now closed their borders and made it less accessible.
But it's the way you're talking about.
Yeah,
people.
it's the caravans of it's mothers,
of gangsters.
It's mothers and kids. Yeah, but the way it was talked about is like this giant roving army is coming for America, and it just wasn't true. But that shit doesn't get talked about, Sucks. Right, Cool G?
I hate that shit.
Hate that. Cool G hates that shit.
He does
Cool
hate that
G
shit.
hates inequality. We all know that. We've known that for a while. Yeah, I don't know. It's the normal topic of bringing it up and talking about it, but like just being like, I don't know. I'm like, so you know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, and I've said this before on the Kind of Funny podcast, and I feel like I'm going to keep saying it because I just feel like it's really easy to kind of sit on the, we need to, like, oh, there's somewhere in the middle. No, it's like, you need to make a decision and like stand for something. You have to. And it's like, it's not okay for people to speak about people the way that they are. It's just not okay. It's not a free speech thing. It's not a, we need to allow people. It's like, no, like certain things are fucking straight up. They're just wrong. And there is not another side to it. If you think there's another side, you're wrong. Like you are making wrong choices that are the reason that these things are happening from the ground level, from the point of view of why people are scared in the first place.
You are complicit.
There's an us and a them, and it could just be an us. It could just be an us, but instead there needs to be this, again, it comes down to fear of what's different. The moment you create that, then there's white supremacists that are coming in and shooting motherfuckers.
Sure.
Like if you don't have that, there isn't that fear. And if there's no fear, then there's no need to protect yourself. You know?
I do. Yeah.
Blood's boiling thinking about it, Tim.
Yeah.
Just getting angry, you know what I mean?
Don't get angry. Don't get angry.
Fucking renders are crashing.
First Photoshop, now this. Yeah. I don't know.
Nick, you did something fun this weekend.
Oh, that's a great segue. Let's go from this dark topic to that thing this weekend.
Kind of
There's no
funny
way to do
podcast,
it.
baby.
Yeah, there's no way.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You want something in the middle here?
Yeah, let's read an ad.
I'll give you an
That's
ad break.
fine.
You want an ad break?
Yeah, let's do an ad
Here's
break.
an ad break. This episode of the Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by Zebbit. No one likes zero of anything. Like when you break your phone and lose contact with the outside world. Zero calls, zero texts, zero social media. Honestly, life without a phone means pretty much zero of everything. Having zero of anything is hardly ever a good thing unless we're talking about Zebbit. That's Z-E-B-I-T. They'll change your whole perspective on zero forever. What is Zebbit? You might say it's a better credit option. Zebbit provides a better credit option for for those who need it. They allow you to buy what you need and pay over time interest-free. With Zebit, there's no cost to join, no membership fees, and no late fees. Zebit does not check your credit score. Zero impact on your credit score as well, and your Zebit account does not affect your credit score. Did I say it doesn't affect your credit score? It doesn't affect your credit score. It's got a huge marketplace. Zebit has everyday items at everyday prices. They have more than 50,000 products in their marketplace with brand names like Xbox, Sony, Apple, GoPro, and Fitbit. From electronics to barbecues, furniture, and more, Zebit has everything you need when you need it. Zebit has a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, and they've earned the trust of more than 1 million customers who shop on Zebit. Sign up for Zebit today at zebit.com/kinda, and you could get up to $2,500 credit to shop the Zebit marketplace at zero interest and zero cost to join. That's zebit.com/kinda for up to $2,500 of interest-free credit. Zebit.com/kinda. Up next, it's Hims. You've heard me talk about 4hims.com a lot because, of course, Nick and Andy use it. They noticed their hair was thinning. They went to 4hims.com. They got generic equivalents to the name brand prescriptions for their hair. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? 4hims.com is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness, and more for men. Summertime is here. While you may be breaking out that baseball cap for your day at a beach or the ballpark, if you're wearing it to hide thinner hair, you don't have to anymore. Don't sweat hair loss this summer. Do something now while you still can. Up to 66% of men lose their hair by age 35, and 4hims.com is here to stop that. They, of course, get you online and connect you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. You get well-known generic equivalents to name brand prescriptions to help keep your hair. There's no waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits. You save hours by going to 4hims.com. You answer a few quick questions, and the doctor reviews it, and if they decide this is right for you, they prescribe you the medication. Stop worrying about sunblock on that spot of thinning hair and do something to help stop hair loss and promote hair growth. My listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now while supplies last. See the website for full details and safety information. This would cost hundreds if you went to a doctor or pharmacy. Instead, go to 4hims.com/kinda. That's FORHIMS.com/kinda. 4hims.com/kinda.
It's a good ad break.
Thank you. It was a great ad. It really gave you time to clear your head.
Great. Yeah, I did do something fun this weekend. So a while back, we talked about how I made a bunch of Dorritos commercials for the Super Bowl, the Crash the Super Bowl contest that was happening in 2013. I think was when I made those videos, at least when I posted them. And it was back in the day. I was trying to win this contest. I made 3 videos. Called up old Shark Finnegan, Chomp Chomp, Alexis Kazambalitis, and Alex Lamita. I was like, you guys want to come over? I wrote some commercials. You guys want to come film these with us? I think Alex happened to be around when I was brainstorming some of them, so he helped me with the creative. So I was like, yeah, come over. I'll write you into it. Did 3 commercials. Nothing ever came of it, of course, because Dorritos had probably thousands of submissions, I imagine, in 2013, which you know when you're doing a contest like this. You're like, it's a dumb long shot. But for me,
it's better than a lot of them.
It was fun too. Thank you, Kevin. It was just fun to challenge yourself and have a deadline and do something, try to follow the rules, but make something creative and get all your friends. More importantly, get all your friends involved, including my wife, who actually ended up helping out with that one as well.
She was a voice.
She was a voice. She's a voice in it. And so we did those 3 years ago, and then not 3 years ago, excuse me, 6 years ago at this point. 2003, yeah. Flash forward, one of them got caught in an algorithm, and is at 27 million views, which is completely ridiculous.
Hilarious.
And hilarious. The other one's at 3 million and one's in 500,000. These
Kind
are
of Funny's most popular video of all time is at 4.1 million.
It's ridiculous. Obviously, I'm under no illusion that the quality of the video is the reason why this thing got 27
Every day Dorritos
million.
looks at that commercial like, what could have been?
There's a couple things.
Could've had
Because first off, some of those commercials are legitimately good. All 3 of them seem like commercials that you could see on TV. The quality's there, the writing's there, the campiness of it all. It's perfect. Totally nailed it. But the craziest thing is the 27 million views on one led to 4 million on another and 500K to another, and led your channel that had no subscribers to 40,000 subscribers.
Yeah, hilarious. So we were joking about it.
There are 40,000 people still subscribed.
Yeah.
They're about to get a treat.
What's weird to me though is that
I forgot about this guy. Unsubscribed.
There's no way that that's gonna be the fascinating. There's no way that I would see that and be like, oh, I'm immediately subscribing to this. If that's a dumb fucking 30-second commercial, I'm not subscribing to this guy's channel. I mean, I vet channels probably a little bit more, where at least I go to the channel and see if there's more than 3 videos on the channel total before I subscribe. Doesn't matter. I digress. I appreciate everyone out there watching this who subscribed to my channel. Get ready for another one. So we were joking around about it. I sent Lex and Sean and Alex were on a group text message. I was like, hey, check this out. And I sent them a link, like a picture of the views. And they were like, holy shit, that's hilarious. And jokingly, they were like, we should do more of these. And you guys were all encouraging me to do more of them. So I was like, fuck it. I'll write 3 more. We'll find a day that works. Alexis happened to be in town last weekend because Hunter was playing the A's. He's on the Texas Rangers, who's playing the A's now. Alex lives here still. Sean has no life in LA. So I was like, why don't you come up?
He's 100 Thieves, Sean.
He rides his bike. I see that.
He's actually really fit now. Like he dropped like 20 pounds.
great.
He looks great. He's having a great time behind the Thieves. I'm joking around.
There.
But yeah, Sean just flew up and we shot 3 more of them over the weekend, and it was a fucking blast. It was so fun. Like, and I didn't realize I had hoped, like secretly, that I was like, I really hope that we have a good time. And it's just like the great part about these is there's no reason to do them, so I don't really have to pay attention to like the Dorritos logo. Is it the right bag? Is it this? Is it that? It doesn't fucking matter.
Even Dorritos.
Who cares? Exactly. I think there was one that we were joking around. I was like, we should just do a commercial for nothing.
For Ruffles.
It's just 30 and then end it with the Dorritos logo. Like it has nothing to do with Dorritos. So it was fun, but what was really, really cool about it was it turned into an entire day of us hanging out, giggling, having fun, obviously. And then Alexis hit up Tim. We hit up my brother who was in town also. Ended up, 11 of us ended up going out to dinner and getting hammered at the Brixton, which is a place we all used to go to when we all used to party in town.
Ended up at Nick's house until 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
D was just so when we left the Brixton, it was like, I don't know, 11 p.m. or maybe 10:30 because it turned kind of into a club, and we're like, oh, we're done.
No,
Let's
it's
go
too
fuck
loud.
somewhere else. We leave, and of course Nick and D are like, we're gonna go home. But we had to go back to get Alexis's bag from their house. And so we all kind of as a group just go over there. And then
Supplanted yourselves.
we get in, and D was just like, hey, you guys, there's a liquor store around the block. You want to
get
just
some
go
beers
get some
down
shit,
here?
bring it over here, and we all just hang out. And we're
Y'all
all of us are kind of like,
She's a scroll.
Well, the plan was to go to a bar
Yeah.
and have one more drink. We all said that, and we kind of kept saying it. And yeah, D was like, "You guys should just come here."
and so we went to the liquor store. We got a whole bunch of White Claws. Yeah, clawed up, baby.
Everyone was like, "Hey, what do you guys want from the liquor store?" And I was like, "Can someone just get me a bag of hot Cheetos?" Didn't get that bag.
I'm sorry about that.
That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
But what was not fucked up was us going there, and God, the plethora of movies that we skimmed through.
We did.
my
Including, can we talk about this? Or?
Nah.
No, okay. Well, one thing we
Damn
did
it.
watch was Rush
no.
Hour,
Oh, yeah.
which
Yeah.
was just fantastic. Rush Hour 1, just put it on in the background every once in a while, looking
So
over and be
funny.
like, what's Jackie up to? You
Has
know
it
what I
aged
mean?
yet? Has it aged like well?
So that's
one was
why we
paying
put it on.
attention.
And we weren't paying enough attention to really tell, but like,
Seems
just
like
from looking
it.
at it, I'm like, this still seems like a good movie.
I mean, it's shot on film. It looks good.
yeah, it looks great.
The looks of it are great. I mean,
So let's start there.
I couldn't really hear. You know what I mean? Like we were watching it with subtitles on because we were all goofing around.
What channel or what?
I think it was on Vudu. I want to say is where. Oh no, Amazon Prime.
It was
or
Prime.
Vudu.
That one
It
was Prime, yeah.
Yes, they got Rush Hour. So
That's gotta be one I gotta check
that.
out.
But it ended up
Rush
turning into
Hour
like a really
review.
fun thing. It was very similar to like I kind of felt vibes of when I went to my high school reunion. I was like, oh, it's really good to see people I haven't seen because I haven't seen Lex in like a couple years probably.
Yeah.
We've like texted here and there, but I just haven't
I think
actually
since the last
hung out
time
with
she
her.
was here at the
Probably
studio,
That's
yeah.
probably the last time I saw her, which was when we were doing morning show stuff.
yeah.
So
Food and barbecue.
Matt was there.
Barbecue.
Your
Of
brother.
course, my brother's there. My brother's always in town now. Always.
Nick's fucking
You love
brother,
it.
Matt. This motherfucker. We get there, and
He's
if you
too
guys don't
much.
know Matt,
I
he
love
is
him.
the nicest dude ever. It is always just like, we're going to order everything on the menu. Like, he's like Kevin's role model. And this dinner ended with all of us being done eating. Like, we had more than enough food, more than enough apps, more than enough.
It's to the point where I didn't order an entree. Because
Yeah,
there were so many
smart.
apps, I was
No,
like, I
that's
don't,
smart.
there's
You
no
gotta
need
do
to
And
this.
this woman walks out, arms just full of plates, and it's like, what is going on? Cream puffs. These giant fucking cream puffs.
Wait,
Where
what's
did
a
you
cream
go?
puff?
What
What's a
place were
cream
you
puff?
at?
Brixton.
Imagine like
Brixton has
how would you
food
describe a
and
cream
desserts.
puff? It's like
Weird,
it's
right?
kind of like a
cream puffs, like
it's a
puff
pastry
with
and
cream
pastry
in it.
with like ice creamy stuff, and then another pastry on top, and then whipped cream on top.
So it's like a sweet thing.
Yeah.
Oh
It's a
yeah, it's a
dessert.
dessert.
I'm thinking. Oh, you know what I'm thinking? Wow, I'm thinking like Cheeto puff, like cream.
Nah.
I'm thinking like cheese or some shit.
No.
never
This
had
is like a dessert hamburger.
Oh, cool.
All right. So she starts coming out with them and like putting them down. And it's just like, who actually wants these? Like maybe one or two people. I'm not going to name names.
I was
But
gonna
then
say how excited is Kevin right now.
next thing you know, she goes back and comes back. This motherfucker got one for everyone.
No.
Oh wait, no,
He
he
didn't
didn't
get one for everyone.
He got
14.
more.
14.
He got
There were
14 of
14
them. There
people
were
with
11 of
us.
us there. Now I don't know. My brother just gets off on doing this every once in a while, where he just like loves to just throw food at everything. But the second he did that, I was like, great. you're paying.
Yeah, he paid. So
I
shout
was
out
like,
to you, Matt Scarpino.
Thank you for paying. But I
you're
looked at him, I was like,
fantastic.
because I know when my brother orders something for everyone, his intention is then to pay.
Yeah, of course.
If he starts getting
Good
shots for people, I'm like, all right, you're clearly gonna fit the bill for this. So you do what you want to do. That's fine.
And
It's up to
that
you.
cream
If you
puff
want
was
to
fantastic.
It wasn't bad. I was hammered. So I was like,
Nick was hammered.
It's three bank robbers. That's what the drink was called.
bank robber?
I have no idea. It was some rye beverage with honey in it. It was
Cool
tasty.
G. I gotta interrupt real quick. What photo did you send me?
Oh, I looked over and your chair was leaking what do you guys drink? Diet Coke.
What do you mean?
I sent you a photo, bro.
Wait, you're telling me that in the other room, Andy has a package on his desk that's leaking Diet Coke
No,
through
it's
his chair?
but I already cleaned it.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
big puddle on the
Oh
floor.
shit! Oh, so my Diet Coke can fell down. When the fuck did that happen? Because it was to
Did you
my
pee your
right.
pants?
Did the crash
didn't
cause that
drop
too?
The crash?
Photoshop crashing caused
Oh,
that?
crash. Got it.
I wouldn't have gotten that either.
Yeah,
That was a
I
reach.
was thinking.
That
I was like, did we talk about a car
That was
crash?
before the ad break. It was so long ago. But no, it's fun. So and Tim was like, "What's your plan for this?" I was like, "Same plan as it always was. Get around to editing when I can, and just silently put them on the channel and see how many people unsubscribe. See how many people who have been subscribed for 6 years go, I'm still subscribed to that channel,
love it.
and see how
Can't wait
the
to
views
see
go
it.
down.
It is so rare that Nick does something that I'm not intimately
Intrinsically
involved
involved
with.
with,
So I'm
yeah.
like, I have no idea what these are
They're
going to be. I saw
dumb as
Alexis
shit.
with a bag of Cheetos in her pants, and
Yeah.
that's all I
Doritos
know.
or Cheetos?
Doritos.
Wow, we're crossing brands.
I was like, come on, man, let's keep it on brand. Here. Let's try it.
What's funny is
Big Edo.
I ate so many Doritos on Saturday. They got to the point where they just did not taste good anymore. I was like, I can't eat. I can't
Impossible.
put these in my.
What flavors? So
You-
you only got nacho cheese?
No, because that was the fun part. Was before when we did the Crash Super Bowl, they were like only used this specific bag of either nacho cheese or Cool Ranch. You can't use any other ones. And I was like, I'm not doing this
Blue
for any
pill, the Red Bull
specific
Matrix.
reason. I'm just doing it for the joke of literally only having Doritos commercials on my private channel. So we got like spicy jalapeno,
Yeah.
habanero, and like a bunch of cool. We got some of the original Doritos in that like old
The
school
taco.
bag. Yeah, I was like,
Taco's the
yeah.
original flavor.
So you're
You
just
know that?
eating at a
did
certain
not.
point. They just taste like crunch.
Yeah.
And your
What a taste.
your palate just goes nuts. It's like, don't do this to me
Spicy
anymore.
nachos, fantastic. The newer one that my mouth's watering thinking about it. The newest one, Flamas,
Flamas.
which is you know the turbo Flamas.
Sure.
Those like how fucking crazy that taste
I remember
was.
KFA.
Yeah, so they make Doritos Flamas with like the same seasoning on the Doritos. And it's super. My mouth is so watery right now, guys. They're so sour, Kevin. They're like sour and like fucking hot. They're delicious, dude.
Sounds great.
Can't recommend them more.
More. I like that.
They're delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I did this
That
week.
sounds like a fun time.
How long
Do
was
you have,
the shoot?
You don't have leftover chips? Or?
We did. I wrote. We did, but we had stuffed a lot of them down our pants, and so I was like, I can't remember which one of these is like has touched my special part. So
I'm
we're
down.
throwing all of them out.
Doesn't matter to me.
I wrote 5 bits. We got 4 of them knocked out, but one's like an alternate version of the other one, so it doesn't really count. So 3 of them knocked out, and I was like, I did the same thing I always do. I'm like, I'm gonna make this super simple. I'm not gonna obsess about everything. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
right.
have fun. And it's going to be
not
great.
Nick Scarpino.
And then I obsessed about everything. And I was like, we're going to start at 10. We'll have a leisurely start, and we'll finish probably by 2. We went straight till 6 p.m. It was a pretty long shoot, but it ended up it was actually very relaxed, and there was only a handful of us there, so it didn't really matter. And then I was like, well, we'll see what this goes, and it ended up being we just raged, and I was so hungover on Sunday, just so hungover on Sunday. To the point where I was like, there's only one thing that can cure this: Taco Bell.
Oh, wow.
I hammered Taco Bell on Sunday.
Sure.
We watched The
Burrito
Boys.
Saturday, Taco Bell
Because I was like, I was getting over that cold that I had last week.
Oh, right.
And Dee was like, she was like, you're not going to go to Punchline tonight, are you? I was like, I don't think so. Because I went to Punchline last Sunday, and that's what put me over the top of getting sick. Because I was like, I'm kind of feeling sick. But then I was sitting there in the club all night till 10 o'clock. It just wore me out. So I was like, I'm not going tonight. She's like, what if we got food and you go watch The Boys? And I was like, that is a great Sunday. What if that food was T-Bell? And what if I ordered way too much? And what if I accidentally ate all of it? Jesus, that's a lot. 3 items at T-Bell for me is my breaking point. The 4th item is the one that makes me start feeling like I'm packing it down, you know? And then we got
So
cookies.
Dee wanted to watch The Boys with you?
Yeah. I turned her into a
that
nerd
sounds
now.
like a fucking treat, dude.
It was a great,
to have like
great
someone
end
you
to a
love be
great
like,
weekend.
what if we just get you food and you fucking sit your ass down there and we just watch The Boys or
great.
watch like
Whatever.
or we just play Marvel Ultimate Alliance like, oh man, let's do that,
Let's
dude.
fuck real quick.
Fuck yeah.
But shout out to my wife, because originally she was like, hey, I'm going to clear out. I'm going to go sit by a pool up in Napa for the day. And you let you guys do your thing. And I was like, I actually kind of want you to hang out because you were here the first time we did these. Like, it'd be cool if you hung out and helped out. And she was like, all right, sure. And she sat all day, and that turned her into Party D. Because by the time we got out, she was like, my brother was like, "Do you want to get a cocktail?" She's like, "I do." I'm like, "Oh,
Party
it's happening."
shit.
I was like, "Oh my god!"
It was another one of those moments, like much earlier than I, where it's like she ordered the drink and everyone at the table went silent for like half a second until we all realized we got to be cool. Just play it off.
Just
be
cool. Don't say anything.
Don't make a big
Yeah,
deal.
don't
Just
play-
let it go.
Yeah, three drinks later, she was having a great. And that's always a cool thing for me because I'm like, in my elevated age, I like to take these moments when they come to me and appreciate them. So I like looked down the table and it was like my wife was talking to Lex and Paula and Hannah was there and they were all just having a great time. And I was like, and then I looked over at you and we're all hammered. Kevin's arguing with Sean Finnegan about something. I can't remember what it was.
No, what was it?
It was science again or something.
This time
It was Mariah Carey.
No, it was
what was it?
information.
Net neutrality. It was net neutrality.
Is he still fighting?
It wasn't net neutrality.
It started with net neutrality.
We started making fun of it.
It started with how it was about how your phones are listening to you and like it was Google was getting all your information and selling it, right?
Yeah.
And Tim was like, yeah, well they're selling it so they can have a company. And Sean's like, it's just fundamentally not okay. And I'm like, we're all way too drunk to have this conversation. And you guys are killing my fucking vibe right now. But it was a blast.
Sometimes I'm so happy to have you as my friend. Because, like, when he started talking about how, like, what was he? He was saying something along the lines of, you have to have, like, convictions and, like, stick to stuff. And, like, when you campaign for something, you have to, like, commit to it. And, like, I think I looked up and I was like, yeah, like, net neutrality. And like I just look over at Tim and we share this because no one else picked up that I was making fun of him. Yeah. And we share this great moment. I said it like 5 more times afterwards.
There's no one I enjoy making fun of more than Sean Finnegan. There's no one on the goddamn planet because he takes himself so seriously.
But what's funny is like he takes himself seriously, but there are certain things you give him shit about. He goes, "Woo."
Because he knows.
There are moments where he just goes,
yeah. No,
like we were joking about him with 100 Thieves stuff because he was a lot of 100 Thieves stuff, and he showed up in 100 Thieves stuff, and then you gave him shit for it. He's like, yeah. I'm like, touche, Sean.
Damn.
Why were there a fucking motorcycle gang outside?
Dude, that was the funniest thing about
the alarms
that.
Went off.
Kevin's talking to us, and like I can hear him getting a little bit louder, but I know none of us can hear anything.
He couldn't hear a fucking word he said. It was like that scene in the movie where someone starts cursing, but like it's too loud.
It always happens that way. Hey, let's kick it to Kevin because it's dead quiet right now. And Kevin by the open window, and as soon as his mic goes live, motorcycle goes by, sets off the Hell's Angels, a train rolls in, derails.
It's like the opening scene of Austin Powers 2. He's going through, and it's just like his dick's always covered a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's a great
scene. Great scene.
Did you see the video recently of that where they set it to the haters gonna hate? No, they set the intro to Austin Powers, or he's running through the streets. But they sped it up a bit. They sped it up a bit for the Taylor Swift song, and it's so good. It works so perfectly to see him and the crowd's dancing. It's so great, man. I love the internet sometimes. Sometimes I don't.
I love the internet right now for all the Avengers stuff. Now that the Endgame's out, so everyone's just like, fuck it. We're going all out. We're gonna improve the movie. The scene where Tony figures out the time travel and like drives the car over and like gives Cap back his shield. Someone added Back in Black where like you hear the car in the distance coming up and like just they edited it perfectly so when the camera cuts of like him in the car it like muffles the sound of it and so I'm like, thank you internet, thank you.
Great.
You know I just appreciate like all the little stuff they're showing now of like today like they were like those lion ass trailers and it was like trailer shot compared with the real shot and how they changed
the CG
things.
differences or like the shot like the little nods that we didn't even see of like Ant-Man with the orange slices.
Yep. Yeah.
I just saw that recently.
I'm waiting for someone to do the supercut of Endgame because what was it 3 hours long? Where it's 3 hours, but every song is replaced with immigrant song.
Every single song.
Every song.
Well, that went live recently too, where somebody like perfectly edited because there have been edits before where the audio's kind of jumbled and you hear like the background music or whatever, but they did a really great edit of when Chris Evans first gets the hammer.
Pulls me on their back.
Yeah, and it's
go. That's what we watched. We watched one of those today.
We watched a cut today where they added the
Anthony Hopkins.
The Odin speech of whoever holds.
So good.
God, it's so good, man.
And guess what? Last time I watched that, 2:00 in the morning in my house with Tim and Sean and my wife, because we were just we were a little drunk. and we were just pulling up random trailers. I was like, "You guys remember the 300 trailer? Wasn't that cool? Let's watch it,
Dude,
We just watched trailers for like an hour.
Yeah, that's the thing is everyone left, and it ended up being just me, Finnegan, D, and Nick. And it was one of those things where we knew we were overstaying our welcome, but it never
Nah, D
felt
would've just
time
gone
to
to
go.
bed. D
That
would've
was
gone to
it.
bed.
Like at some point, like D kept being like, "What about this trailer?" I'm like, "Why are you asking about the 300 trailer right now?
It's
This
fun, D,
doesn't
man.
make. She's a scroll. You're right."
No, I think my wife has hit a point where she's just like, I'm gonna start hanging out more and just have fun.
It was
And
great.
It's good.
That,
It's really good.
that was
I'm proud of her.
so much fun.
Because I think she needs the stress relief. I think she's been working real hard. And we had so much fucking construction happening in my building that it's just driving us both nuts. So at a certain point, I'm like, let's just get a cocktail. Should we just get a cocktail? Can we just be that old couple at the bar, get a cocktail, and just lamenting
Talk
about
just like
life?
that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a little fun in Austin as well. It was good. Good hanging out with everyone.
Guys,
Good hanging.
I hate to ruin this great conversation.
Oh no.
But I asked him about
We're
website
gonna go back
earlier.
to gun violence.
What is your screen? Because every time you look at it, your screen picks up this color. It looks like you got nothing going on in your screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
You
know.
know, that's weird. It looks that color.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The screen looks blue.
The blue of this looks like it's
teal.
bleeding on your screen. When I look at it, it looks like you got no real screen. Now it looks fine. But
Oh, okay. Oh, it's probably just viewing angle. Yeah, you're right. You're so right.
Right?
At an angle, it
Fucking
looks
weird.
like so blue.
everybody, next time you're at a kind of funny meet and greet, ask to see Andy's phone from the side.
I'm sure I'll have the same
Throw it in
case
the
by
pond.
then. This comes from Gizmodo. Japan approves scientists' plan to create world's first human animals.
Nope, don't like this.
Humanimals.
Don't like any. Don't like where this is
Yeah.
going.
This
So-
is like that.
What does that mean?
For the first time, a government is supporting a plan to create animal embryos with human cells and bring them to term, resulting in a type of humanimal known as a human-animal chimera. A committee from Japan's science ministry signed off on a request by researchers to grow a human pancreas in either rats or mice. The first such experiment to gain approval since a government ban was reversed earlier this year.
That's such,
First, we were in such a position to start serious studies in the field after 10 years of preparation. So they've been preparing for this shit for a decade.
dude, but that's such a
Japanese.
deceptive headline. Where it's
What's
like,
the goal?
They're just gonna grow
To grow
organs,
human organs.
in other animals.
animals.
Yeah.
which
So
makes
late,
a lot of sense.
So later on, yeah, a future paragraph, but just pretend I'm not going to read this, just so we can think about the possibilities,
Sure.
because a future paragraph does state, but to the disappointment of some of my coworkers and potentially many readers, this is not a step towards cat girls, nor is it a way to cross yourself with your favorite animal. Scientists perform this kind of research with the hope of one day providing a horse of transplantable human organs from animals we already have the infrastructure to slaughter, such as pigs. Human organs for transplant are otherwise scarce. So this isn't to create Cats the movie, but what would you like to be fused with?
No, I don't know. No, thank you.
don't know?
I don't. I know. I do not want to be fused with anything.
What if you could have a child that could be fused with
No.
something?
Why? A Portillo.
Tiger.
Ew,
You
but
pick
it's just
the
like,
smallest, fragilest dog to fuse your
but it's
job
just
with.
like
What parts?
actually
Like what?
Yeah, not the legs.
Like,
Not
what
the
do you
want me
legs.
to do?
What kind of fucked
what
up
are you
person are you?
thinking?
Not the legs, not the back, not the brain.
What'd you,
Just something
what'd you fuse
useful.
your kid with, Portillo? What's he do for a living? Long jumper.
I'm just saying, I like that dog. I mean, what? So you're saying you do it with like a lemur tail or some shit? You just want a kid with a lemur tail? Are we picking parts?
spider monkey tail.
Are we fusing him with a fucking thing?
I'd go gorilla or something.
You want a gorilla
To have
human?
my son to be super strength, like super
Yeah,
strong.
it'd be-
like
Like
yeah,
that one
no.
movie, the one show.
Congo.
No, the one show
Oh.
that just happened.
Planet of the Apes.
The Steve Austin show?
No. Superpowers.
Steve Irwin?
The Boys.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking
the
about?
Netflix one,
Yeah.
the one that Gerard Way worked on.
Yeah, it was
Barely
good.
watched it.
Umbrella okay.
Umbrella
Umbrella
Academy.
Academy. The dude ended up having like gorilla like chest.
Never
Well, that was
finished it.
because of like
Dumb.
weird experimentation too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like
Well, I don't
he-
want anybody having. I don't want any.
I'd want my daughter to be super hot. What's a hot animal?
Cat. Yeah. Cat.
What?
That's weird. Human is
cats.
pretty
You
hot.
You never seen a cat and been like, yeah.
This conversation scares me.
Well, I mean, that's not fair because they're always like walking in front of you, shaking it.
What the fuck?
That's not fair.
You know?
Kind of funny.
the-
Anti-gun, pro-animal
Pro
fucking.
cat fucking.
30, 40 years.
Oh,
go.
so family fucking is in 20 years.
I don't think we should be doing this. You can't do this to your children. You don't want to sit there. I don't want it done
No,
to me, let alone
No,
my
but I'm
children.
not saying.
not
No, but
nice,
here's the
dude.
thing. Here's the thing. Kevin or Greg is approaching this as if he is turning an already existing child into an animal. I'm talking like brand new. Like this is like you've never seen.
Like
you have
they
no
go and
emotional
they
connection.
edit
To this.
I
your-
still
they-
don't
they
want
edit
their
your
genes
DNA.
spliced together into this thing, this
But
nightmare.
Here's my pitch. All right, what if
Where are we
you
going?
add eagle eyes to
Whoa.
a kid?
But
you
this
know?
isn't even a transplant
He's got-
situation.
No,
we're
no, I
we're
know,
doing the
but
fly
you-
kind of
you-
shit.
Shia LaBeouf, Eagle Eye.
Yeah, and you know how it's gonna come out. You know that it's just gonna be the eyes. He's not gonna have weird feathers where they don't belong. It's
I don't
just,
take the chance, man.
but I'm telling you, there's no chance.
Turns
There's
into
always a
Archangel.
chance.
No, there isn't. Not in this hypothetical.
Science with Kevin.
No, in this hypothetical, we got it down.
Am I talking to a genie or Satan? And they're the
No,
only people
you're
who can
talking to a
promise
future
this stuff.
scientist, all
Wish
right?
number 3, they'll fuck
Don't
me.
fuck me.
It looked like magic, but it's not.
No, yeah, I feel you, Kevin.
Yeah.
If I could, yeah.
So
it-
this kid is gonna have great, like he's gonna be able to see fucking 100.
But
Yeah.
there's downsides to eagle eyes too.
What?
Google eagle vision. They can't. It's not perfect.
Yeah, it is.
They can't see 2 feet in front of their head. They can't drive cars.
do like a fly. If you do a fly,
No.
like flies fucking see like 360. There's
Nobody,
no,
knows,
they
nobody
don't-
knows how fly sees.
They don't have angles
What a nightmare.
they don't have blind spots. It's just like that's how they know where you're coming from any angle. Like when you try to.
Nah, I've gotten a couple flies.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't
You
believe
put your
that.
hand
I've
and cup
actually-
it like this real slow behind them.
I've actually caught a fly with pliers once.
No, you have. You're
I have.
fucking
I
lying.
absolutely
I caught a
have.
fly with
You're
absolutely
lying.
have.
It sounds
I absolutely have.
over
I caught a fly with chopsticks one time when I was training karate.
It's a movie.
That's
It's
a
from
movie.
it's from Cracky.
Again, this conversation scares me.
I'm
'cause
mad
it-
I can't think of more sexy animals.
It reminds me of Sorry to Bother You, and it makes me think that
Oh,
we
yeah?
are closer
Horses.
to horse people than we want
Horses,
to
okay.
believe.
Again,
and it's
read
fucked
the
I'm in a lot
up.
of
I don't like
pain
horses.
here.
The
No
article did not say that at all.
But again,
Oh,
because
we're
of science, who the fuck
extrapolating.
knows?
Or stick. You know what I mean?
See?
The question is, if you guys all start fusing yourself with
big.
horses, I'm gonna start a stool company, like a stepping stool company, so
Oh.
everyone can come bang you.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Wait,
Okay.
what?
How
Fair,
else are they
I
gonna
guess.
get the dick up that far?
I mean,
Horses are tall.
Just normal stools.
Oh man.
Stepping stools by Scarpino.
If I could guarantee
Sex
that
stools.
my son could have like a giant horse dick, I'd do it.
No, that's bad. Here's
too
the thing.
big,
You
it's too
think
big.
that,
Too
but then
big, like a
women don't
pony
really
dick.
like dicks that big. That's what my wife says.
To comfort me.
My wife always says it's just fine. It's
Serviceable.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Serviceable. It gets the job
She
done.
says it's not bad.
She's like, for you know what I love most about your dick? Your mouth. That's what I like.
That's like that sounds like such a Rodney Dangerfield style.
You know
joke.
what? I'll go. What about like some kind of? If I have to do this, right? What about some?
Oh,
kind
now
of
we're talking. Now we're talking.
what's like? You know those lizards that can like grab the
Komodo
sticks?
dragons.
No, that's a different thing.
Chameleons.
Chameleon.
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
fine.
You know what I mean? The good hands that get to crawl up stuff like
I got
that.
some good
you mean-
hands.
Gecko.
For the grappler. The future of the grappler.
I always thought I was the grappler. It turns out it's
Oh,
going to be a little
shit.
Greggy.
See,
He's
I
going to be
think,
able to grab
I think
shit.
I'm with Andy on this one because like
Horse dick?
No, gorillas are fucking jacked.
Yeah.
You ever seen a hairless gorilla?
But you wouldn't have
Kevin,
knuckles.
Google hairless
No,
gorillas.
that's gross.
But just parts of them.
Dude,
You get to
look
choose.
at
I'm looking
the,
at it.
What the fuck kind of what?
No. I'm not saying that. You get. I just want them to have like the upper body strength of a gorilla because you could fuck people up like a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Like your
It's
grappling
like
strength would be
Buzors in Beast
unbelievable.
Wars.
Do you think Brock Lesnar could take a gorilla in a fight?
No, gorillas are.
Oh, no. What?
Abnormally
Two
strong.
Brock Lesnar's couldn't take a gorilla in a fight.
They're something like 7 times apes are 7 times stronger than human beings.
Jesus
So could
Christ.
7 Brock Lesnar's take an ape?
Did you do
Depends on the
hairless gorilla?
I
Can you
did.
imagine the
Did
F5?
you? Oh,
Hello?
not doing it.
Just saying on?
But I mean,
That's
I
my
feel like
Winston
this does a
impersonation.
decent.
I mean,
enough
that look how
job.
fucking big his forearms are.
Kevin,
Look
show
at
the
his
people the
shoulders.
gorilla.
Like
That's
this
a
looks like a
big-
cartoon.
Oh, they
Like
got
if I
baby
could look
dick.
like that right now, if they were like, dude, here's the workout regimen,
He
I
looks
would
like
seriously
Popeye.
consider it.
But here's the thing.
And fail
Look at the
miserably.
one on the top left. The one on
Hold
the
on,
top
wait,
left.
Kevin's
Kevin?
got to say something. What's Kevin?
I believe gorillas have
This motherfucker.
He's having a good time.
He
Yeah,
grabs Paula's ass. What do you do, Kev?
fucking.
nothing.
You run away, right?
And he gives you that look, and you're like, you know what? Touche. Touche,
You told
gorilla.
him you'd watch, right?
No, I'd be scared.
Damn, the chimp on the
Those are
third,
good.
the third from the
hairless
right.
chimp?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know about him.
at those
a good
Maybe
one.
it's a hairless
There
chimp.
was a
They're
good one
like,
on
look
Reddit
at
last
look at his
night.
fucking muscles.
I don't like
Jesus.
Look at how
Why is he
jacked he
hairless?
is.
No, I don't like that.
He probably has like
Kevin,
some sort of
type in
disease.
sexy animal.
it. No.
No.
Do it, Kevin.
It's just gonna be a bunch of
Do it.
Rouge the
Wait, hold
Bat.
on. Don't click off. Don't click off. Click back down onto the thing here. Just
Please,
move.
please.
I just need you to move the words. Look at the third autofill there.
Albino, it's Brock Lesnar.
Remember I was talking about how many Brock Lesnar's could take a gorilla? You put in gorilla, albino is Brock Lesnar.
That's so bizarre.
How bizarre.
that thing
I mean,
is
now do sexy animals and let's see what you get from me.
Okay.
I would say rabbits.
But
that's
you're just
because of,
thinking
like,
Space
cartoon
Jam,
shit,
though.
yeah.
Nah, you're just thinking
Lola
of Lola
Bunny,
Bunny.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no sexy animal.
Bring it up, Kevin.
No,
Yeah,
I
don't
have
bring it.
no
I do
idea.
not
What's
think that's a
wrong
good
with
idea.
The horse one on the top
Look at that
one.
lion getting some down the bottom left.
All right, look. I think the kangaroo is probably the.
Wow, damn.
This guy is.
I
Fucking
never realized how much a
jacked.
kangaroo's mouth looks like the
Camel.
back end of a human being, if you know what I'm talking
What?
about.
A butt crack?
The butt crack leading into the gooch gooch.
Oh,
Okay, all
Sure,
right.
I guess.
All
Fair,
right, yeah.
fair.
You know
Uh,
what?
Where?
Thinking of the giant
face?
Thinking of the giant
Just talking about this line right
muscular kangaroo. It just reminds me of
Yeah,
that one
thing's jacked.
video where that one guy punches the kangaroo because the kangaroo's like trying to kill his dog. You ever saw that video?
Yeah, I think we
Nick?
watched it.
Yeah, it's a great video. Kangaroo's trying to kill his dog. He just like stands up and scares him, and they just fucking square up and boom, just slaps him. The kangaroo's like, fuck.
Like, bro, not cool.
I didn't know it was your dog, dude.
What the fuck, bro? Use your words, bro.
I
Your
really
words.
don't like this kangaroo holding something.
Yeah.
It makes him seem too human. I'm not okay with
What the
this.
fuck is
yeah.
going on with that
God.
punk rock llama down there? What is happening with that thing? Look at that thing.
Sexy animals, right?
Dude, there's some bad
man.
pictures on this.
Oh yeah. Show me that ass
Okay.
bulldog.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that was a
see it, I see
bestiality
it.
photo
That's
up
bad.
top. Yeah,
Yeah,
we should,
no, it's not.
we gotta.
All right, that's not bestiality.
The dog fucking a
That's
woman.
not bestiality.
That's clearly a dog hump. Don't show it, but that's clearly just a dog humping a fully clothed woman.
No, I don't think
Maybe
so.
her
I don't
skirt's
know,
out.
man.
You never just
Should
pop
I
the
ta-
skirt
do
up?
I take a time code? Are we taking that out?
Yeah,
or-
we gotta take that
There's a
out.
censor thing on it.
No, it's
It's
still
not big enough.
Implications there.
Yeah.
Oh, for what?
We've been talking about
It's a
fucking
dog
animals for the last
humping.
30 minutes. I think we're fine.
Don't be
If
so
I-
sensitive.
if I
The
put a
first time we
black bar
clicked
of me
over, you
jerking off.
took off the meme text and it was just a picture of a sloth that said rape. Like, there's a lot. I don't know if we should have jumped in, but we jumped in, everybody.
Yeah.
At least it's not like the fucking
Where is
George
it?
Jetson porn.
Yeah.
Have we talked
I
about
don't know. We
that?
talked about that
I
on
don't
this show.
think so.
have we?
We
sure
have
didn't.
not talked about it. So yeah, like a couple weeks ago, the Kind of Funny podcast was
Brian Fawcett.
Like I don't even remember what the headline
It was-
honestly.
The internet's gone too far.
The internet's gone too far.
That's what it was.
And I don't know. Oh, we're talking
We were
about
talking
robots that we'd fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a
There's a
theme.
theme.
But anyways, the Jetsons robot Rosie came up, and so for the thumbnail, it's always hard finding a fucking thumbnail for many of our shows, but this show specifically. And so I found a suggestive one of Jetsons stuff.
It was just George fucking Judy, right?
Yeah. But then I censored it out. I put a censor box around it, like so. It's like cool. This is totally.
Wait, Judy his
totally
wife or his
fine.
daughter?
Judy was the daughter.
I know.
Okay.
He's fucking his
Definitely
wife.
the mom.
It
He's
was
fucking
the
his
mom.
wife.
It was the mom. But then I showed
Jane,
Greg.
his wife?
Yes. Oh, there we go.
Judy,
Elroy.
his lover.
Don't tell Elroy.
It's still illegal in the
She's his
future.
20 years. So I slacked you this, Greg. And I
Yeah.
was like, hey, is this okay? Like, because usually when it's a more risque thing, I want at least some level of like eyes, so it's not
Checks
my
and
decision.
balances.
Yeah, there has to be checks and balances. And you're like, yeah, it's totally fine. And then the next day, when it's about to go live, I get a slack from Barrett, like,
It's 6 p. It's like 6:30 p.m. and I don't know how I caught it. And it was the day before the podcast was supposed to go live publicly, and I don't know why I'm looking. And I was like, "Huh, that looks weird." And the mom's tits are just fully out.
Super
I censored the
missed-
like intercourse part. I missed that. I didn't
Yeah.
even see that.
And then you showed it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, the censor bar covers his dick and her ass, so it's probably fine."
Probably fine. And then Barrett had to add a bigger black box.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Good job, Barrett. That's why we pay you the big bucks right here.
Man,
Somebody keeping us from
what a
getting banned
moment
on YouTube.
What a moment. That would have been fine on YouTube. YouTube doesn't give a shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We get demonetized
Cartoon
anyway.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Those rules. It's like Twitter. You can do anything on Twitter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Thank God. God bless. I did that thing yesterday. A lot of butts on the internet. It's because mainly when I open my Twitter now, it's always a scroll. If it's going to be video game news or somebody we know's ass.
Oh my god, yeah. So like, what's it called? Well, we had some guests here the other day. I don't know if maybe. Oh, I think we were playing Knights and Bikes the day we
Oh,
were
sure.
part of the party mode.
Yeah, Double Fine
I'm
was in
scrolling
the
down
office.
Twitter, and God bless her, Jessica Negri, very scantily clad, like
Yeah.
very little clothing
Very
in a photo on
on-brand for
Twitter.
Jessica Negri.
And I'm like I think I had scrolled and I had left it on that, but I'm looking like at my phone or I'm looking at. And then, people are walking by. I'm like, it just looks like I'm fucking looking at Jessica Negri all day.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this fucking just image just kind of.
Kev, can you bring Jessica Negri's Twitter up? Like her recent set. She has such an aesthetic to her where she's just like, I'm going to get as scantily clad as possible that is
Put on a weird-
that I can still put
weird mask.
but then I'm just going to fucking like
Scare people.
scare people.
You know, like when you go, like you're about to go to a party, right? You're like, I'm not sure what the energy of this party is going to be, and you walk in, and it's fucking outrageous energy.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is going to be a fun party. That's
she
Jessica
is a
Negri.
fun party.
Jesus Christ.
Scroll down.
What the fucking what?
This is what I'm talking about. This is still like that's themed stuff. It's the one where she's like,
bird masks are really funny.
Is that one?
That's
Is that one right there?
insane.
Do I show it?
What?
This?
No,
Oh.
that one on the right.
No,
I think there's a
feel
visual
it's her
story.
energy.
There's a
Yeah.
story being told.
there is
here.
a story.
You can show this Kevin show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
It's on
scroll
So
by
this
and
one's
say
the
howdy,
first one?
versus when you scroll by and don't say howdy.
She's such a goon. She's
Goon
such
is
a
the right word.
She's a
Perfect.
goon.
You just nailed it.
Love Jasmine.
I was thinking goof for goon. Yeah, both of
Goon,
them
she's a
work.
goon.
Yeah.
No, it's funny though. Like every once in a while, you'll be checking, like you'll just be scrolling like an airport and public
Oh, yeah.
spaces, and that's when it gets like that's when you become very aware of the people you follow.
Yeah.
And you gotta just watch it out because I
Yeah.
follow a lot of people who do a lot of stuff.
We all do.
Yeah.
All of our friends
of our
do. We have
friends.
so many of our friends to do, and I do it all the time. Yeah, where I scroll through and I'll be in a public place and not think about it. I've told a story before of one time. Yeah, I was at a PAX and I was scrolling through, and then I was at the Devolver booth. I was scrolling through Instagram, I think, and then I was like, oh, something's happened. I was watching a game,
And it stays on your phone.
And I did. And I was watching the game, and I came back, and the guy was like, did like a double take, and I like creep, and I was like, what? And I looked at it, was a picture of Darshell. I was like, God damn it, Darshell! Like, I had to auto refresh, get her out of there. Like, I can't just have this fucking walk. Oh, because I was walking around doing stories for all the games I was doing. I tell you what, Tim. Can I ask you one question to close out this show?
Please do.
It comes from Ignacio Rojas, who wrote into patreon.com/kindafunny and says, now this is an old one, but I'm still using it because I like it. So my flight just got canceled and I won't be able to get back home for the foreseeable future. What are some of your airport horror stories?
The horror story of the
Oh my God, the horror.
I mean, I've told the story a bunch of times, but it was me and Kevin almost missing our flight to New York.
Terrifying.
And having to get real aggressive and push through the lines and ask a lot of favors.
Sure.
And like, I'm not the type of guy that people want to give favors to. You know what I mean?
No, people love you, Tim. It's fine.
having my flight canceled on the way back to try to get back in time for New Year's Eve was like a nightmare. Where like I'm leaving the Valley from Christmas vacation, and I have a connecting flight in LA, and it's like a late flight, and I was supposed to arrive back in San Francisco like by midnight of New Year's Eve. You know, like I was still gonna have, you know what I
Some
mean?
champagne.
Well, it wasn't the actual New Year's Eve. I was like just trying to get here for the day before New Year's Eve. I
Okay,
guess
sure.
Some might say. And I got back to I was in LA like at 10 p.m. My flight was supposed to arrive in San Francisco around midnight or 1, and it was canceled. And it was like fuck. And they're like, well, you have to walk all the way over here to this terminal, and we'll give you a little voucher to stay at the hotel by this place, but we don't really know when our next flights are. Like, since it's the last flights of the year, it's not looking good. And I was like, what? Like, I just felt like hopeless. I felt helpless and hopeless. And I just stayed in this fucking hotel, and they were able to find me a flight. Luckily, the next morning, like at, I don't know, 11 or 10. So I stayed in this little shitty fucking room that it sucked. I was just like not prepared. I was like tired. I felt gross. I just wanted to shower, and it was not fun. Not fun.
My real answer is the Alaska thing. No, I think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Now
You
what?
Cool Greg on the plane.
The Cool
yeah.
Greg
Oh yeah.
issue of
That was terrible.
debacle of 2018.
Yeah.
That was just ridiculous. That was the most defensive I've ever been of a human being in my life. Where I was just like, you are not going to fucking treat my brother that way. And it was just, I was like, I don't know, I had this in me. It made me kind of hard.
Jesus.
Now you know how
you
it
aroused
feels.
yourself.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
God.
It does.
I just felt
Let the beast out.
I was just like falling back asleep during all that shit. I was so out of it.
I roll the punches with the airport. I think I don't know if I have a horror story.
No, you
horror
don't.
story. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
What's my horror story?
I think that your views for airport stuff is like much
Example.
shorter
Give me an
than-
example.
Didn't you once
Anytime anything goes wrong,
didn't
which
you
is
once
every time.
bully an airline into changing their like where they were picking people up at?
I don't know if bully's the right word, but that happened by tweeting about it. Yeah.
there you
It's
go.
like, oh man, it's gonna be cutting it close. And they were like, well, move the thing. And they moved the thing. I think about when I was trying to get out of Missouri that one time to get here
Privilege.
to not miss the morning show. You're fucking right. To not miss the morning show. And I remember that thing where I kept getting diverted to like Iowa. And I had to keep texting you guys like, I'm not going to make it. But I remember I was the only person who didn't lose my cool. I wrote a nice little note to the flight attendant in middle of nowhere, Iowa, who was dying because there was 900 people screaming at her. It's like, hey, you're doing a good job.
I think it's the combination of you and Jen, and when Jen's involved, something's gonna go wrong because of all of her stuff.
When you bring
okay.
Jen and Porty, that's
It's
so many
over.
documents.
Well,
It's
the
all-
Jen
too
one
many
would be that
documents.
one where we were leaving Canada.
many
Sure.
documents.
Where and they were
many
like, can we see
documents.
your marriage certificate? And that's when I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, that's yeah. But I guess here's my thing: is I don't think I have a horror story. I think horror story implies, holy shit, blah blah. I've been tired. I've had a flight canceled or whatever. But usually I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like I don't think there's I don't have the story of put me on the fucking plane. I don't have that kind of thing. I do have the can we see your marriage certificate? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's a green card. I'll fucking kill you. That's different.
No, I mean, I don't have horror stories per se. I just have like stupid stories of like me either doing something. Actually, mostly it's me doing something dumb. Like the first time I ever missed a flight at IGN, And thankfully, they never figured it out because the airline we were super humble about it because it was our fault. It was me and the old, I forget his name, but the old IGN sports editor.
Bill Barnwell.
No, it wasn't Bill.
John
It was before
Robinson.
that. Ari. It was a guy before Bill, and in between Bill and John.
Nate.
No, I forget his name. He didn't last very long. He's a very nice guy, but he was a heavy smoker, and that was back when I was smoking. And we had flown into Chicago. I think we were going to Columbus, Ohio, for a UFC thing, and they allow. I think it was in Chicago at the time, or maybe another. They allowed smoking in one of the bars, and so we were like, we're gonna have some cigarettes and get a couple cocktails. And we were just shooting the shit about how much we love everything. And then I was like, what time is it? And I looked down and I was like, we missed our flight. And I mean, by like a wide margin. It wasn't even like, let us on the plane. We didn't hear our names being called. We got to the front thing and the woman's like, we've been calling your name for so long. It's gone. The plane's gone. And we were like, totally our fault.
bad.
No way around this. We didn't hear it. We were in the lounge. We didn't hear it. We're totally sorry about that. Is there any way you can get us to Columbus, Ohio? We screwed up here royally. And I think it was United. And I think they were like, yeah, we got another flight leaving, but it doesn't leave for like 10 hours. And this
You
is
went
like,
back to the bar.
no, because this was like 10 o'clock at night. And so we were like, where does it leave out of? And they're like, the other terminal. There's like another terminal. So we were like, oh, cool. We'll just go over there and like find something else to do. And there was nothing open.
Yeah.
And we slept in a quiet airport with no other people around. And I was like, I don't know if this is like legal what we're doing, but we were just in the terminal still. So it's like, and I felt like Tom Hanks from that one movie where he just couldn't leave. Yeah.
Terminal, yeah.
It was very, very weird.
Castaway.
But I mean, we slept and it sucked and we got up and we got on the plane and I was like, that's fucking weird, but let's not do that again.
Yeah.
And I was like, I vowed to never miss a flight again until the last time we went to Vancouver and I missed the flight by 1 minute. I missed the check-in for the flight by 1 minute.
Yeah.
Because me and the missus got there and I'm used to like domestic flights. So I was like, oh, I'll just check in on my, I tried to check on the app, but they're like, oh, scan your passport. It'll totally work. And the United app sucks balls and it did not work. And so we got there. I was like, we got plenty of time. It's going to be okay. Did not realize that the international flights need you to check in like an hour and a half beforehand. We had missed it by 1 minute. And it was because when I went up to ask the person at United, she was like, not having any questions. I was like, we don't have to check bags. Can we is there a kiosk we can go to right now where we can just check in without having to check bags? She's like, no, you got to wait in that line. I was like, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure there's like kiosks. I remember there being a kiosk somewhere for people who don't have to check bags. She's like, absolutely not. You have to wait in this line. Waited in the line for 21 minutes, missed it by 1 minute. And my wife was like, oh, this is going to be the worst. And to be fair, the rest of the United people we interacted with were great. They got us on a flight like 2 hours later. It was totally fine. But as we're going through TSA security check, I look over, I see a fucking sign, bunch of kiosks that say check in for passengers that are carrying on only. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to bring that
And the
fucking
guys walk
person's
by
neck.
with the kayaks.
Oh my God, the kayak guys. It was the worst. Like whenever anything goes wrong on United, that's when you really hate United.
Yeah.
They're usually
Any airline.
yeah, but United
seems
specifically
to
because
every time for me.
SFO is a very big hub.
Yeah.
It's fucking,
Disaster.
and everyone in that line was like, I just don't understand why no one will answer any questions here.
Yeah.
Because they just funnel you into a line because they have to. And then I just felt so bad for that. It was like 2 people at the kiosk that were like, this is the day I hate this job.
Yeah.
And they were getting so much shit from me. One woman literally cried the entire time I was in line.
I remember this story. Yeah,
The entire time. And my wife was like, let's just go home. And I'm like, I can't, I gotta go.
Yeah,
and she's like,
yeah.
I don't have to. And I was like, fuck, you're right.
See you later.
You're so right. Oh man, that was a bad trip for her.
I'll tell you what, though,
unfortunately.
I'm excited for Toronto because I got that United pass, the fucking lounge pass. I'm really excited about that. It might be my first time. I want to get there like 5 hours early, right?
Wow.
Might as well. 8
Baller.
hours.
Wait, how did you get the pass?
With the credit card.
Oh,
If you have the United credit card, you get like 2
Got it.
annual passes or whatever.
cool.
How
do you like that credit card?
It was good.
Yeah.
I hit like whatever balance it was to like give me the 50,000 bonus miles.
Yeah.
So like I had like 9,000 miles
rolling
or
in
some
miles,
shit,
yeah.
and then suddenly I looked and I was like, oh my God, I'm like at 62,000. What the fuck?
7 away.
Huh?
7 away.
Don't
69.
listen,
69.
don't listen.
69. Well, I'm gonna like need some prep though, because you know me, I'm very forgetful and I'm just a moron when it comes to flying to Toronto. Because like
Yeah.
I don't want to
It's
have.
another country. So
Yeah.
you get there 2 hours ahead of time. Actually,
I always
would-
do anyway.
Yeah, but like not like 2 hours so that you can be a little late. Like plan to get there 2 hours ahead of time, unless the app will allow you to check in beforehand, which it may do, but you have to bring your passport and scan it. That's the only thing. So they need to be like
Bring
someone
all your
needs.
knives.
Yeah,
Okay.
Put them all in your carry-on.
try to hide Kevin in your backpack.
Yeah. Speaking of shit that doesn't get snuck through, we were talking about that. How Kevin, you mentioned you've gotten your Leatherman through several times. I like when we went to, I guess, where did we go? Maybe Arizona.
We did go to Arizona.
Maybe it was Arizona. where they didn't confiscate my fucking wallet thing. That's like it's like a bunch of different multi-tools thing. It has like a blade.
Oh, yeah.
And but it's just like a square thing that's like the size of a credit card. But it's like, hey, this side is sharp, but there's also slots for screwdrivers and shit.
Yeah.
And on the way to Arizona, nothing happened. On the way back, they're like, "Oh, we gotta take this out." I was like, well, "I brought it over here." Like,
God damn it, I didn't buy it here.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's fine.
Standard
that was,
rules,
that was
you know,
pretty
rules.
lame.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right.
standard rules. They
Fucking
Like,
damn.
why won't you let me play with the
all-encompassing.
drug dog? I don't understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4 best friends gather around this table, each bringing their random topics of lives to you. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can get each and every episode early, watch live, get the pre and post shows, and most importantly, get it ad-free as an MP3 and video. However, if you want it for free, we understand. Head over to youtube.com/kindoffunny. Podcast services around the globe. You can get the show there, chock full of ads, and no pre or post show. And it's not live because that doesn't make any sense, but you understand. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.